The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. And got some news here. Very sad. One of the places we've talked about on the air, Kenzie specifically, because it's her regular place. It's her neighborhood place. That the Elgin Public House is going up for sale after the owner announced retirement.
It's like everything I love dies. That's how I feel. It's like, it's the worst. Every time I like something, it goes away, it dies, it gets canceled, like everything.
Well, it's
like,
funny.
I really liked R. Kelly. It sucked for me. It sucked for everybody else too, but like, that was a big bummer.
You were one of the victims
Yeah.
in the grand scheme of things.
I was like, this sucks. I can't listen to any of the things I like.
So unlike the Elgin Public House, R. Kelly did it to himself. But this guy seems like a great guy, Greg Shannon, and he just wants to retire.
I thought you meant R. Kelly. I'm like, he's not.
Oh, yeah.
Ship has sailed. We can't like him.
It's too bad because R. Kelly can't afford to buy the public house and keep it open up there in Elgin, being locked up.
I don't think I'd want to know what happens when he owned it.
Could you imagine if R. Kelly bought the Elgin Public House and was like, guys, I'm doing a residency. Every night, Elgin Public House, I'm there.
I would be so conflicted internally.
He turns it into the I Believe I Can Fly public house.
God.
So, this guy fulfilled his lifelong dream of opening a restaurant in Elgin, and it was open 17 years.
I know, and the food's so good. And so I know him, and he's the nicest guy. I just met him because I go to the restaurant a lot, because I'm like, you know how like cases with bands?
Yes.
I'm like that with food. So
Okay.
I really like, I'm like, oh my God, guess what's opening? Or guess who has a special tonight? Like, I get really excited. So I go there a lot, and he also does these really cool dinner tastings because he loves to cook. He loves food too. And he has these curated nights that he does paired with like different alcohol from around the world, or he does like Italian night, and he makes all these dishes based off his favorite chefs, and it's like all of the things I love are going away.
Well, hopefully it's not. Like he is putting it up for sale. So it's unlike some places when the guy retires, they want to close it down, give the family the recipes. So correct me if I'm wrong, Kenzie, because you know him. Does he have any sons or daughters that don't want to keep the business open and they have their own lives and don't want to get in the restaurant business maybe?
I think that, so they like to travel a lot.
Okay.
So I know that they're gone like a substantial part of the year.
Yeah.
And now it's becoming like, I think they just want to be like grandparents and travel and, bounce around. So like, they're not going to be there enough anymore.
Yeah,
to make
that's
sure everything's going.
I know, because it sucks. It seems like in Chicago, there's been a lot of things lately that have closed, and they like no one in the family wanted to keep it going, and that's too bad because these are great places that are going under, and Elgin Public House might be one of them unless he can find someone to sell it. And it sounds like he's willing to keep it as it is, just someone else own it.
I am so praying that happens. I need someone to go in there and just copy and paste because the business does really well. So I just it's so upsetting for me.
You want to hear something wild about this guy you might not know, Kenzie?
What?
So he worked his life in restaurants at the age of 12. By the time he was in high school, he was managing 6 Pizza Huts.
Oh, my God.
Wait, did you say by the time he was 12?
No.
What'd you say?
He's been in restaurants since he was 12, but let's say he was 15 or 16 managing 6 Pizza Huts.
Oh, I think it's 12. I'm like, I don't know if it was illegal. Wow.
And Pizza Huts are like well-oiled machines. That's not an easy restaurant to manage.
But can you imagine being like 15 and yelling at some guy 40 in the kitchen? Like
you're in like algebra, but you're sweating the sausage delivery later today.
Okay, you know what? And think about it. It's really gone downhill since he left because Pizza Hut used to be awesome. And he's got to be in like his 50s or 60s. So
Yeah.
this is like the old school Pizza Hut when they had like a salad bar. Do you remember that Pizza Hut?
Yes, I do.
So honestly, since he's left, things have just really fell apart.
Do you remember, Kenzie, because you're probably... I don't think Brian would know this, but do you remember the Pizza Hut reading challenge?
Yes.
Yeah, think about how integral Pizza Hut used to be in our society. They provided
In
us,
our school.
Yeah, they encouraged us to read. They gave us salad, and then they gave us pizza. They basically kept the economy going.
Amen. They've done a lot for us.
let's
Domino's could never.
Oh, let's not give him all that.
And it was my first time having stuffed crust.
Did they-
So also a pretty big deal.
it's a chance they invented the stuffed crust, right?
I believe so.
Because
Did they invent it? Seriously?
well, I shouldn't say that because stuffed crust pizza, I believe Nancy's Pizzeria here in Chicago invented the stuffed crust pizza. I'll have to go back and see the years on that. Pizza Hut probably ripped them off. That's
I
all.
don't know
That's
about
all I'm
that.
guessing.
That's a tough label. You just said they invented it, and then 2 seconds later, you saying they ripped off a family business.
I wanted to recant my statement.
That took a big turn. That was a big swing, Brian.
Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101, and we were just talking about how the Elgin Public House is now for sale. So anybody that's got money and wants to have a great operation that's just turnkey, I like to say, you go in there and you kill it because Kenzie, it's her local spot, and the guy and
So sad.
and the owner's retiring, so it's up for sale. It could be. I'm sure it doesn't just serve Kenzie in that area. I'm sure it serves a lot
There's
of people.
plenty of people there.
Yeah. You always say it's packed, so
I know.
it's doing well. And this led us to a conversation about, Pizza Hut somehow. How did we get to Pizza Hut? Oh, because the owner managed 6 Pizza Huts when he was in high school.
And then we talked about how Pizza Hut, between the reading challenge and the salad bar and just the overall good pizza, far more valuable to the U.S. economy than I think people realize.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And then we were like thinking maybe they invented it. And I changed
No,
quickly and go,
you said they invented stuffed crust pizza. And I said, oh my God, really? And then you said, no, Nancy's did. Which was just, it was a really weird, I don't know what happened.
I had no filter. I was just thinking out loud. I was brainstorming, trying to figure out who invented stuffed crust pizza.
So you were wrong twice. It
No,
makes
no.
me feel better.
Well, you tell me. You just Googled really quickly who invented stuffed crust
Okay,
pizza.
so it says, however, in 1987, several years before Pizza Hut chains began selling these slices, Anthony Mangiello was the one who created stuffed crust pizza. He was a young boy. He was known by his friends as the Big Cheese. At
course he
18
was.
years old, he was making a pizza at the request of a friend's mom, which is kind of weird, right? And he overestimated how much dough he needed, ended up making a pie with an enormous puffy crust, and he stuffed some cheese up in that thing.
Is that what it says up in that thing?
No, I paraphrased at the end.
Okay.
Got a little wordy for me.
So does it have a year on that or no?
In 1987. I said it at the beginning.
Okay, sorry. Because here we go. Because I went to Nancy's Pizzeria. Now,
Go ahead.
Nancy's is stuffed pizza, not stuffed crust pizza, but they invented it in
What's stuffed
1971.
pizza? What does that mean?
So, it's like deep dish, and then there's stuffed pizza, which people sometimes even in Chicago don't realize those are two different things, even though they kind of taste the same.
Well,
But-
I mean, all of it kind of tastes the same. We're going with the, once it gets in the mouth. Well, because it's the same, like 3 ingredients. It doesn't matter. The layers don't matter that much.
So,
but wait.
so a good segue for today is once it gets in the mouth, it all tastes the same.
But what is what's stuffed pizza?
So the cheese is stuffed. I don't know what it is exactly. I was going to go on this thing like I know what it is exactly.
Oh, God.
But I know that Nancy's is top 5 pizza in Chicago without question. But they say that the founders, Rocco and Nancy Polisi, invented it in 1971 when they opened up Nancy's Pizzeria.
So
It's
Nancy,
not Pelosi?
No,
It's
not Nancy Pelosi.
Nancy Pelosi did not invent stuffed pizza.
But speaking of Nancy Pelosi, here's how this is going to come full circle.
I don't believe you.
What?
So Nancy's created the stuffed pizza in 1971.
Yeah.
Stuffed crust pizza was invented in 1987. Pizza Hut introduced the stuffed crust pizza to market in 1995, and they helped launch it with the campaign featuring Donald Trump.
What?
Yeah.
What? Oh, not as
What?
president, though. Pre-president.
No, wait. Way pre-president. This is just way pre-apprentice.
This is pre-apprentice.
This is pre-everything.
He was just
Who
bankrupting
used Donald
buildings at this
Trump
point.
pre-apprentice? That's odd.
Well, he was famous before The Apprentice.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because he had that little cameo in Home Alone.
Not that was the only thing that made him famous.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. So we're talking about the Elgin Public House closing. The owner's retiring, but somebody's going to buy and keep it open because it's a quality restaurant. That's Kenzie's spot. And then it led to a conversation on pizza and stuffed crust.
And how Pizza Hut fueled the U.S. economy.
Yes. How'd they do that with it was a Book It program?
The Book It program. So 847 here, they checked in. First-time texter, which I love that this is the first text they've ever sent us.
Love you.
I love that. They explained it perfectly. For those that don't know what Brian, Kenzie, and I were just talking about, the Book It program was a Pizza Hut reading program where you had to read 5 books and get a star sticker on a Book It pen. You would then take your pen to Pizza Hut and get a personal pan pizza.
That's amazing.
God, that's good. I want that now.
I kind of missed this window because I was too old for the Book It program when it came out.
I don't think there's an age limit. I think you can still do it.
Damn it. If anybody works at Pizza Hut, do they still do it?
Yeah, they do. Our text line lit up with people saying they still do it, which
Really?
I didn't even know.
Okay, well, Aaron checked in from 219 to go on further. He says, I grew up really poor, and my mom used to cheat the system by saying we read the books to get the free personal pans. That's probably why they did away with it, LOL.
Wow.
But it doesn't seem like they got away with it. It just seems like it's still active.
It's probably on an app now.
Can I read cliff notes of books?
Well, you've been reading an Elon Musk biography since before he owned Twitter. I think you can count that and move on and find 4 other books to read.
God, I want a personal pan pizza right now.
Well, that you know my secret about pan pizzas, right?
I'm not sure.
Go to the Pizza Hut inside the Target.
Okay, yes.
That is the best pizza there is. That's the best pizza in the city.
No,
is the
geez,
Pizza Hut
shut
inside
up.
the Target.
Shut the hell up.
It's the best.
You're a moron. I'm going to throw it out the window.
Throw it out the window.
Another irrational pizza conversation. Listen, Case brought up there was the old Donald Trump Pizza Hut commercial about pan pizza.
About stuffed crust pizza.
Stuffed crust.
He kicked off in 1995 the Pizza Hut stuffed crust pizza marketing campaign.
Now, this is pre-president, way pre-apprentice.
This
even.
is different. This is a different person.
This is when this was just Donald Trump. This is
him.
a rich guy in New York with his wife Ivanka sadly passed away recently. Rest in peace. But here's that commercial.
Do you really think this is the right thing for us to be doing, Ivana?
What do people think?
Let them talk.
Donald.
Ivana. It's wrong, isn't it?
But it feels so right.
Then it's a deal?
Yes, we eat our pizza the wrong way.
Crust first.
Introducing stuffed crust pizza from Pizza Hut. With a ring of cheese baked into a totally new, thinner crust, you'll want to eat it the wrong way. Crust first.
May I have the last slice?
Actually, you're only entitled to half.
Large, just $9.99.
Because it was a famous rich divorce.
Yeah.
And so, that's amazing that they went with that.
That's the power of Pizza Hut. Again, we disrespect them as an entity far too often.
Yeah, that's a great commercial.
It really is.
I need to get some pan pizza right now.
Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.
It's Brian and Kenzie on Q101. And coming up after the show today, around 11 o'clock, let's say, because we have the big Lollapalooza announcement at 10. Let's get through that and breathe. And then at 11, Piece of Garbage Madness. The selection has been done for the 64 things and people and ideas that have been pieces of garbage in the last year. It's a bracket just like March Madness, and we'll go through it, and you vote, and you decide who advances. Now, I'll give you some teasers here. We're not going to go through all of them, but a couple of the matchups. I really love this bracket, how it played out. This may be the deep dish region. So I'm going to give out a number 1 seed. I haven't done that yet.
I was going to ask if you could just give out the number 1 seeds, because I don't even know what's on the bracket.
Okay, so the overall number 1 seed is Tiffany Henyard of Dalton Mayer.
Yeah, that's your Duke. That's your UConn.
Yeah.
It's a heavy hitter.
Another one is this one right here. Whoever filled in the Chicago rat hole. That's a 1 seed. But what I love about, first off, they're taking on 16 seeds sleeping in socks.
That's tough. That's tough.
Is it?
I'm a sock sleeper, so.
Oh my God, that's terrible.
I know. One of the many awful qualities I have.
Take your socks off. Let your feet breathe.
Well, you're a foot guy. I don't want to take my socks off around
100% a foot guy. So that's
Proud of it, damn it.
So that's a 116 matchup. You'd expect that 1 seed to go. Before I give the other 2 1 seeds, this bracket's interesting because in that region, it's a 2 seed Aaron Rodgers against a 15 seed the Chicago Rat Hole.
Wow.
So let's say there's a lot of upsets in that 15 seed. It could end up with whoever filled in the Chicago Rat Hole against the Chicago Rat Hole.
And that's important to note because for as many Rat Hole fanatics as there were, both people in that neighborhood and just beyond the greater Chicagoland area hated the Rat Hole.
Yes.
I don't know why.
Yeah.
They hate fun. They hate puppies, Santa Claus, all the above.
All those things.
The Rat Hole fell into that category. Some people had a real problem with it.
Yeah. So the other 1 seeds besides Tiffany Henyard and whoever filled in the Chicago Rat Hole are the Kennedy Construction Project.
Absolutely.
Affected everybody's life for a year, and it's affecting a lot of people right now for another couple of years. I thought there was a better way they could probably pull that off. I don't know.
I'm not a construction guy.
I don't know anything about how you build a highway.
Feels like it could have been done better.
Right. And then the final one is tipflation.
Wow.
A 1 seed tipflation where you get asked for a tip on everything, everywhere you go. And we want people to make money, but hey, it's gotten a little out of hand.
But not my money.
That's a 1 seed. This is all by the aggregate of people that texted in, DM'd, called in, and there's a lot more fun matchups here. Again, we'll get to them, all of them today, probably around 11 o'clock. Just make sure you follow our Q101 Facebook page because it'll pop up on your screen. Then enjoy the fun with us all right here when we go through it. It's Brian and Kenzie on Q101. Takeaways coming in a sec here. In fact, you can start bringing in your takeaways early if you like. 312-591-8300. Something you're memorable about today's show. Text that in right now.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
All right, here we go. It's Brian and Kenzie on Q101, 942. But we usually leave at this point. We will still do takeaways right now. But we're staying on with Lauren till 10 a.m. when Lollapalooza, the announcement comes through at 10 a.m. sharp. We'll give you all the bands, all the information you need. Plus, how about 4-day passes to Lollapalooza 2024? You'll be the first people in to Lollapalooza from our great partners, C3 Presents. They put on Lollapalooza. So stay right here, 10 o'clock, less than 20 minutes away. In the meantime, let's get to your takeaways at 312-591-8300. Case, what do you got?
Brian from Oak Park checked in. He said, takeaway, Kara's vase problem is a lot like Brian's Playboy problem.
You'll figure out what that is when you go to the podcast if you didn't hear it.
That's right.
Also, this is a multiple came through on this one, but I'm going to give Ryan the Pepper Guy credit on this from 773. Takeaway, once you put it in your mouth, it all tastes the same. Thank you, Kenzie, for that one.
Thank you, Kenzie.
Kenzie will be back again tomorrow on the show.
Live 9 to 10 every day this week.
That's right, as we lead up to the Cubs broadcast, which will be a week from Monday, the home opener. But, Case, what's coming up on the podcast?
Well, it was just a delightful day with you, myself, and Kara. You're having a bathing suit crisis.
Absolutely, I could use some help.
On what to call it, on what to wear, on what the style is.
It's a bathing suit.
Uh-huh, sure.
Really, when I broke it down, though, when you say bathing suit, it does sound very elite. Like, this is my bathing suit. But I can't change. I've called it a bathing suit. Not, what, trunks? What are you know?
I don't know.
Oh, water shorts? I don't know.
I don't know. We talked a lot today about Oprah's bizarre primetime Ozempic infomercial last night, which honestly led to a really heartwarming discussion on some weight loss experiences that people have had. Not necessarily a pro-Oprah discussion, but a pro-love yourself and take care of your body. We got to pour one out for Joanne Fabrics, of course.
Wow.
Too bad. And then Kenzie explained to us just a little bit ago how Pizza Hut, kept the U.S. economy running and how they don't get enough credit.
All that on the new Brian and Kenzie podcast. So Spotify, on Apple, Q101.com, wherever you get your podcasts, go there. Again, just about 15 minutes away from 10 a.m., the Lollapalooza announcement, and you'll be first in if you stay here.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.